Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So it seems like it's the indices that keep on giving in America. The Nasdaq topping a record high once again, first time since February. The S&P is slowly creeping up for a record high, and the Dow has had quite a big move as well to the upside. Really big bull runs. The conflict between Israel and Iran is really hitting the headlines. We've seen gold movements, oil movements. Just wanted to have a look on the indices today because stocks are really still outperforming. And we've got Fed Chair Jerome Powell also kicking off his first two-day testimony, saying that he won't do any rate adjustments just yet. So it's giving more of a boost of confidence to a lot of traders and economists, thinking that probably the recent downturn that we saw in the last 6 months for indices is now slowly hitting a V-shaped recovery like we're seeing on the charts. So on the daily chart with the Nasdaq, we're seeing now it hitting a bottom just below 17,000 and then topping above 22,000. So quite a dramatic turnaround in the last few months. What we are a little bit skeptical and worried about now is that naturally we're hitting a bearish divergence on most of the stochastics, the RSI, the MACDs, especially if we open today with another top and we break this particular double top here. We have touched a record high on the Nasdaq, but it hasn't closed yet. So this is something we might be a little bit worried about if we do get quite a big pullback, and obviously we fill this gap here. Let's just take a quick look on the S&P. As I said, that's in a similar fashion, but hasn't hit this double top or this record high just yet. And again, we are just seeing now a slight bearish divergence coming into play. We'll look on the intraday chart shortly. Just wanted to show you the daily charts on all three of the main indices. The Dow as well, really looking likely that it's going to start topping another fresh peak. We've broken the recent peaks that we've seen before, and now we obviously are hitting another higher high. Whether or not we'll get to a record high with the Dow remains to be seen. Naturally, there are only 30 companies that make up this index, so it takes a little bit more time than the S&P and the Nasdaq as well. But favorable moves regardless. Now let's just take a look on intraday activity, and it's looking a little bit more favorable if you are an intraday trader, because look at this massive move we've seen on the Dow in the last 24 hours, really pushing higher. But this fact that the RSI is vastly overbought at the moment is starting to weigh in on a few sentimental traders, and we could see a little bit more of a sell-off before we get another push higher. Straight onto the Nasdaq as well, it is, as I said, looking likely that we could be having some firm resistance here in the intraday hours, but as I said, with the ceasefire still in play, we could see another upturn or a potential downturn depending how this plays out. Obviously, this is the big market mover. We'll look at gold and oil later in the week because they've had some big crashes in the market. Just wanted to point out that the stocks are doing very well in America. The dollar not so great against its FX counterparts, the Swiss franc especially, that's kind of tanked at the moment, but we'll go into that later in the week. And also we're just waiting to see, obviously, Donald Trump's next move is Iran and Israel going to have this ceasefire for another 24 hours, or are they going to start again? This could see a big move in the market as well. So just keep an eye out for that, as you probably are doing from the beginning of the week. Big weekend gaps as well occurring, which was natural. So we'll see how far that has to go. So thank you very much for joining me today. As usual, this video will be posted on our Telegram and YouTube channel. So stick with us, stay ahead, trade responsibly, and we'll speak again next time. Bye for now.